Welcome back. We're very much in a trial where we just need to basically try and prolong it, try and make it just go on and go the distance in order for Gumshoe to report back that they got Maya, that they actually got her. So here, it's very much that case of the judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. We're trying to stall, so if I wait and see, he may be like, well, that's it, we're done, that's it. Testimony's over, you can't get any more evidence, blah, 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 blah. So I'm thinking raise an objection just because. Yeah.
Objection!
The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Yes. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? Yes, I am. In this book I wrote, I'll start at chapter 1. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Because you enjoy it? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work. So supposing that a roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Yuan Kurita. No, it's payment for some illicit drugs. Let's look into the history of drugs. Then, and the bellboy the witness saw? Yes, he was the assassin. Oh, it was an assassin, a roll of cash. Hold your horse now. Mr. Edgeworth, why do you have horses in the... You don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelley... the killer? He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley, the killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Well, we're gonna have to get his testimony on this, aren't we now? Well, we're going to spend another half hour doing that. Oh, dear. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. Yeah, he was serving us food, was he not? Or drinks? What? I saw him as well. Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir, right away. The second time. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Yuan Kurita's room. Now that I think about it, that boy did seem kinda out of place. Why? Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. How did he seem out of place? I need more information on that. Why out of place? I mean... Wait, I mean one of the things I can... What? Thank you very... Can I press on I mean? Thank you very much. That is all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. And that would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. This is no laughing matter. I know. Right, so I am thinking why was the bellboy out of place? Second time. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. So here's the thing, it's like, I've been thinking about this whole stalling technique, and it's sort of like we're meant to be, that's our aim, is to stall. Not to win, not to lose, to stall, to buy more time. But I don't think that account with the actual gameplay of pressing on the statements, otherwise I'd be pressing now, even though I feel like there's nothing there. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Yuan Kurita's room. Now I think about it, that poor boy did seem kind of out of place. Why? So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Okay, yeah. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. He just left the stuff in there. Is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide or try to pull a fast one? There is nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. There really isn't.
Objection!
If you two are done being school children, bellboys offer room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed. Ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see, very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest room empty-handed. All I can think is right now is like, let's press on it. So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, yeah, I was thinking the wine glass and stuff. He was holding a tray in his hand. And there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice. If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out of the room empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Well, we'll leave it to Mr. Court Record then. Alright, so I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of the guest room empty-handed, so... wine glass.
Objection!
Mr. Powers, may I call you Powers? Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Nope. Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. What? That would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time? Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm so terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness? Isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say, empty-hand-head. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. What? Huh? What? That bellboy. He was wearing gloves. Gloves. Yeah, pitch black, leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Oh boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I'll get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones. And? So, football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather? Gulp. But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. That's very circumstantial. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. There's more? Their second meeting. After leaving Yuan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went into the bathroom, and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room. Yeah, kinda saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. A second meeting. After leaving Yuan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. Kinda want more info about that. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying? Excuse me? I may be a poor, underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Thank you. Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye in a sort of sneaky spy-like. I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? Alright then. What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. It makes, actually, Mr. Powers very suspicious. Why was he spying? He gave something to the person inside the room. How do you know that? I said hold it. Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Person inside, then... Alright, Kinda wanna know about the something. Because it's like, how do you, what is the something? He gave something to this person. Yeah. What was this something? If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. You sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please try to remember what it was. I'll try. In the meantime, let's talk of another point. Namely, what the bellboy did next. Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing, the old guy just left without even going into the room. Let's go back to that. I'm assuming we can go through again and get those questions, and we'll do the first one this time. Yeah, there's the hold it. Ask about the person inside. So who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. Yeah, how do you know this and stuff like that? What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? You're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Maybe it was the suicide note or whatever that was. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. A wooden, bear-shaped figurine. It's covered in many thin cuts. But why the cuts?
Objection!
What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Pheonix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, you have something to say? Please, spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Pheonix, deep breath. Mr. Powers? There's something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, that's bad music. Oh, hey, that's it! That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Metangard's mansion. At the defendant's house. Wait, is the... What? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Surely the killers assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Angard's mansion would mean... It goes about saying, Your Honor. Mr. Metangard is the killer's client. It's not like... I said order. Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it's clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The person who received the bear, yeah, it's like we still don't know that completely. We can sort of figure it out, but technically we don't know. There was one thing in Mr. Power's testimony that was very unclear. And that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but only I saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure. What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. Oh, of course you would. Where? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm. But the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it. Well, that could be Adrian Andrews at that point, really, couldn't it? Like, she was wearing a costume as well. This is established facts. You've got to be kidding. Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Oh, let's play cut then. It looks like you dug your own grave, yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matangard is the Nickel Samurai. Oh yes, definitely. I've seen him on TV. Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help! You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry! Now, I will bring this cross-examination. Your Honor. Again, Mr. Wright? You've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony. No, Your Honor, we have not. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I have to find something. One more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, on what questionable point would you like to explore further? The person who received the bear? No, because we've done that, haven't we? What about the bear itself? Again, stalling. It's like, Power's testimony is like... From their point of view, it's ironclad. We've already done the person who received the bear. So, the bear itself. I think it's very obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found in Mr. Ungard's mansion. It's like, why is it so important? However, Mr. Ungard was arrested at the hotel that night. Which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Damn good point. The killer would have took it, but still, damn good point. Oh, I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. Ungard who took this bear to his mansion. Oh, yeah, unless there's two. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider this point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Phew. Disaster. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. Can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. The killer and On Guard were working together, so to speak. I was hoping everyone forgot that. And the killer was hiding at On Guard Mansion as its butler. Whoa, what a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to On Guard Mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, On Guard had him do so, but for me it's like, why the bear? Like, alright, I'm following on this, but like, if this is all true, why the bear? I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I think we've heard enough. But it still could be Adrian Andrews. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion. As well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Although, it depends, when did this happen? Because it's sort of like, it would have been, the killer would have gone and killed Yuan, then left the room, brought the bear, gave it to Matt, and then after the murder, Adrian Andrews would have gone in, found Yuan dead, put on the costume. It's like, Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt On Guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Raise an objection! I will now announce my... There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, the very same figurine was found at On Guard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I am saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Oh, well, then who? I mean, the real client? Yes. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client, and therefore the real murderer? I'm still gonna go with Adrian Andrews, but I feel like there's a massive hole in that. But again, we're stalling. That's the aim here. It's like, it's clearly not her, we know that. And there's a massive gaping hole in the timeline of this whole situation, so it can't be her, but we'll have to pursue that logic, which would buy us more time. Adrian Andrews? Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt On Guard for the crime. By wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. Then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw. That could have very well been Miss Andrews. Oh yes, it could be, I suppose. What about Mr. On Guard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figurine at Mr. On Guard's mansion, it was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Yeah, there's one massive hole, like I said. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. Yeah, it is possible, but it does mean the timeline of events that we know up till now are completely wrong. but we know the actual truth, and that is the timeline of events. No, this was quite strange. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell on guard did it. I want to go home. I'm quite cold here. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin it on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty. Oh, this is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor. For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with this what-if game. Is what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? Yeah. He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to on guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. Oh, you can do that, she's in prison. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor.